Hello everybody. In this session, SMART presents 21 laws of leadership. Now, what is leadership? Leadership can be defined in several ways. One of the definitions is, it is an interaction between a team leader and its followers who are entrusted with performing certain tasks, assessing situations, and achieving the goals of the organization. Now, in the process of the leadership, it involves the unlocking the potentials of individual or a group of individuals, inspiring them, motivating them, and leading them to their success and that of the organization. Now, some of the leaders adopt different styles while functioning and carrying out their duties of leadership. These are democratic, autocratic, or free to reign. Now, whatever may be the style adopted by a leader, one has to follow certain laws of leadership if they have to achieve effectiveness, be it any field, any discipline, or any culture. Now, what are these laws of leadership and what do they state? There are 21 of them as stated by John Maxwell. Now, John Maxwell is a very successful and effective leader with over 35 years of experience in leadership skills. Now, John, during his process of carrying out leadership duties, has combined insights from his leadership successes and mistakes with observations from the worlds of business, religion, sports, politics, and military conflict. John has, to his credit, 22 books, all on leadership, some of which are bestsellers. Now, if one has to achieve effective leadership, he has to follow these laws and succeed in them. Whether you are a fresh graduate from the college and starting a career or a seasoned executive, these laws are applicable. If you want to achieve effective leadership at the highest level, these laws have to be followed. Now, let's see each of these laws one by one, and as we go through them, we shall learn from real life experiences of world famous leaders who lived out these laws and succeeded and became very effective leaders, and some of them who violated these laws and failed miserably in their leadership role. The first law of leadership is called as the law of the lead. Leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. Here, the lid represents the limit of our leadership abilities. Simply put, lower the ability to lead, lower is the lid on your potential. When a company, a sports team, a church, or even a country is in a state of trouble, then the leadership is required to be checked. Leaders, the lids that the leaders can face are, as shown, fear, impatience, denial, impulsiveness, deceit, jealousy, anger, confidence, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, people's perception of the same. So, what are your leadership lids? A classic example is that of McDonald brothers, who worked hard and in customer service and in kitchen organization. However, they were not leaders because they failed to grow the franchisee business as they failed to follow the laws. However, Ray Kroc built up the team of leaders and made personal sacrifices and successfully grew up the McDonald franchise business into a global restaurant in what it is today. The second law of leadership is about the law of influence. This is a true measurement of leadership, nothing more, nothing less. It is said that he who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk. So, if no one is following you, remember, you are not a leader. Management is a part of being a leader. Just because you can manage something but that does not mean that you can lead. Influential leaders in the world, to name a few, are Maurice Saatchi, former CEO of Saatchi & Saatchi organization, the global advertising giant, present in 76 countries with over 146 offices. Lee Iacocca, former CEO and chairman of the Chrysler Corporation, is another classic example of a person who lived out this law. The third law of leadership is called as the law of process, systematic hard work and learning. It says that leadership develops daily and not in a day. Just like as we invest in stocks market, we invest in the process of becoming a leader. If you want to see someone become a champion, then you need to take a look at their daily routine, because it requires a lifetime of perseverance and dedication to become a good leader. The law of leadership process. Classic examples are those of Jimmy Carter, developed through time. He developed his leadership abilities and has now earned the worldwide respect as a leader of Habitat for Humanity organization. Other world famous leaders who succeeded by applying this law of processes are the President Theodore Roosevelt, Joe Frazier, heavyweight champion. All these leaders believed in perseverance, preparation and continuous learning as factors for success. The fourth law is about the law of navigation. It is said that anyone can steer a ship, but it takes a leader to chart a course. The law of navigation is nothing but the ability to see ahead, charting a plan to get to the destination and remaining focused on vision. Therefore, good navigators count the cost before making commitments for themselves and others. The classic example of a person who lived this law of navigation through and through his life is the Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen, who was the leader of the first group of explorers to reach the South Pole through his excellent navigation, and he was a strategist, and therefore he landed in South Pole with his team without problems. The fifth law is called the law of E.F. Hutton. E.F. Hutton is supposed to be an eminent financial expert, and he was considered the most effective and real leader. It is said that regardless of who has title or position, a leader is one with the power to command people's attention. It is nice to see how the way a person becomes a leader. They see who they are, who they know, what they feel, where they have been, past successes and what they can do. Mother Teresa, frail and diminutive in appearance, but commanded respect. When she talked, people really sat down, stay put there and really listen. The sixth law is the law of solid ground, which talks about trust. Trust is the foundation of leadership. It is a necessary element. Good character builds trust. It is the foundation of leadership. The three keys, competence, connection and character, are the firm foundations of this law. Here we are going to talk about an example of people who did not live this law and therefore failed miserably as leaders. During the Vietnam War, the US leaders handled the situation very badly. President Johnson and the US Defense Secretary Robert McNamara broke these laws by being dishonest to the people of America. Their reputation as leaders were lost due to the mistrust, and what suffered was America. The seventh law is the law of respect. People naturally follow leaders stronger themselves. This law works when people are compelled to follow somebody who is stronger than them. It says that if people do not have trust in you as a leader, they will not respect you nor want to follow you. Examples: Harriet Tubman. She was an illiterate, underemployed, unimpressive appearance, but a respected leader, fearless, strong, and she has helped hundreds escape slavery because of strong leadership. Basketball coach Dean Smith and John Maxwell himself exemplify this law. The eighth law is the law of intuition. Leaders evaluate everything with a leadership bias. Leaders have to have intuition. Everyone is capable of developing a degree of leadership intuition. No one starts at the same place. In this law, intuition requires a reading of the situation trends. Leaders' intuition is based on three major levels: those who naturally see it, those who are nurtured to see it, those who will never see it.